Rob, I mean, to be fair, I don't even know what I'm going to ask here. I'm just going to say sum that up because I haven't got a clue.
No, I don't think I can, Jack. It's just an incredible game of football from two brilliant teams, and our mentality won us the game, in my opinion. You talk about penalties and whatnot, but the setbacks we had, we felt a bit disgruntled by decisions, but I was just so proud of the lads in terms of the way they responded to setbacks. That's all I asked. That's all I said. Setbacks doesn't matter, just keep going, keep doing what they do. And it will always come to fruition, which it did, and just really proud of the club and everyone and the fans. I'm so pleased for every single person involved that was sacrificed this year. The disappointment that we clearly had, that everyone, we all know so much about, and to be able to go on the biggest stage in football and win. I'm assuming it's the first major trophy in the club's history, and I hope that's right. I don't want to get in trouble, but winning the first cup competition, and seeing Greg Ollie, who's been so loyal through the toughest times, and Mags and Ben Clark in the crowd and everyone, is just such a brilliant day. And I can't even remember the game, to be honest with you. It was a brilliant game of football. I was so pleased some of the passages to play, but just so incredibly proud and humbled by what's been a difficult, brilliant and amazing end to the season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll not go into specifics of the game then, in that case. But, I mean, in terms of the slog's the first word that comes to mind. I mean, obviously you go on extra time. I mean, Solihull have gone extra time here twice in 6 days, which must have took an absolute hell of a lot out of them, because it's taken a hell of a lot out of your boys as well. But especially, what does that speak on the character that going behind in extra time and coming back to taking the penalties as well? Because there's plenty of teams where their legs are heavy, they're cramping up, they concede a goal in extra time and they're thinking like, oh no, they can't muster up the energy to try and get back into it. But that's exactly what your lads did.
Exactly, our lads, Jack, you're part of us. It was just absolutely incredible. I thought the goals were so brilliant, so clean, and some of the chances we created with our football was fantastic. And Solihull are a massive threat, and they had their chances as well. But I thought overall, I'm always going to say we deserved to win. I felt we did deserve to win over the course of the game. We had a bit of a blip in the second half where we tired, and I think the experience of the game and the momentum and the occasion. But just a brilliant game of football, and I think the mentality wins your games. It always wins your games, always set standards, and that's exactly what we did. We got the right mentality, we got the right standards. We kept going. We always believed in our process and all those sort of key words. But ultimately, the lads just believed in each other and believed in themselves, and just a fantastic day for everyone, and one to cherish and relish and enjoy with what's been a tough season. And the game, I could name everyone, was absolutely outstanding, tremendous, putting their bodies on the line, and just super proud human being today.
Yeah, I mean, when it takes it to penalties, everyone always talks about it being a lottery and all that. Obviously, Monty's come up with a couple of saves as well. Their keeper's done exactly the same thing. It was a bit of a penalty of keepers, which, well, I'm not going to say enjoyable for you to watch, but probably relate a little bit in some way. But in terms of the penalties themselves, and I mean, especially when you look at Dej taking the last one, obviously he scored the equaliser in extra time, goes to sudden death, and lads who aren't part of the original five step up and start taking them. I mean, what kind of mentality does that show from an 18, 19-year-old lad to step up at Wembley and score a penalty to win a trophy?
Yeah, I think let's be honest, we all realise we've been watching a special talent who's going to kick on and have an unbelievable career, and we're all really excited that he's been a part of our history. I think mentality is what sums Dej up. All his athleticism, all his ability, all his finishing and goals. The main thing that comes from Dej is his desire and mentality to want to win and want to fight and want to do the right things consistently. Got a little bit frustrated with in the first few minutes or the first 20 minutes or so, because Solihull are a good team, they moved the ball, they kept the ball, but I just said to him, remember why and what you're here to do, and don't get frustrated because your chances will come. And he was really fit and he scored the winning penalty, because I think since he's come in he's been nothing but exceptional, and let's not forget he's waited, he's worked hard for his opportunity, and when he's got it he's took it, and just so pleased for him.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned the fans before as well. Obviously plenty of them will have been here last year when it didn't go our way. Some have even been at the playoff final 10 years ago this year. How much does it feel like you're kind of repaying them, especially after, because all the boys mentioned the injustice of the whole playoff situation, because it's obviously not just an injustice from your point of view and the players' point of view, but from the fans' point of view as well, who were excited to see their team playing in the playoffs for a chance in League Two.
Yeah, it's the least they deserve as a minimum, and I think the least we deserve is the opportunity to try and fight and show that we could have won it. And it's a never known, it's an unknown, but we can't we can't worry about it and let it affect us. We just got to move on and keep the club progressing. And I think for the fans to be able to come to Wembley to have the day out, and ultimately after the disappointment last year, disappointment in the playoffs, to finally see their team win it and celebrate and have that reward for all the hard work, all their miles travelled, all the games, all those postponements, and God knows what else there has been involved. I'm just so pleased, because ultimately we want to bring the community together all the time, and you know, football's a brilliant avenue for people to be able to, you know, escape life, escape difficult times, and be able to bond and form a community and form friendship groups. And I just hope that everyone relishes that day, and you know, going on in 10-20 years they'll all remember the day and the people they spent it with, and hopefully, well, definitely will remember all these players who've made it very memorable.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not asking many more questions, just one more, since I think even in the changing room voice was going after 120 minutes worth of shouting on the sidelines. But how are you going to enjoy tonight?
I don't know. I'll either be asleep by what's already 8:30. I'll either be asleep by 9 with the kids, or I'll probably not see me for 2 days. I don't know which one, but I've got my money on being in bed by 9. To be honest with you, Jack, being a manager and the coach and everything, or whatever you call it, it's manager, yeah, isn't it? But yeah, I know I'm tired. It's the joy I get from watching lads that we've got push themselves to the limits and do what we've asked them, and back themselves and back us and trust each other, is just, it's literally the most incredible feeling ever. It's more incredible than being a player and playing at the highest level, because yeah, like, to get people to believe in themselves and push on and make themselves better. More importantly, as a person and a player, you know, if you have 1% interest in 1% influence in that, and yeah, that's what I'm immensely proud of. So I'm going to go and watch the lads enjoy themselves. I'm going to give my family a hug and spend some time with them, because they sacrifice so much, as long as all the lads and staff family do. And yeah, just enjoy the moment, because you know what football's like. It changes suddenly in the first game of the season. People forget, and you move on. So cherishing these moments and making memories is all I want to see everyone do. And yeah, just be happy for a few days.